tomorrow. And every Republican member gets this email from our leadership team. But for intelligence committee briefings, which are classified and critically important, they're not sending out emails to everyone. What they're doing is they're sending it through the Dear Colleague system. Now, the Dear Colleague system is a really obscure way to tell people about meetings. We usually use it for what are called Dear Colleague letters, where you are sending a letter to your colleagues asking them to co-sponsor a bill or co-sign a letter. So it's tons of stuff goes through this every day, because people are always coming up with new pieces of legislation and they're always sending it out. It's a lot more, congested than if you had like the just send an email. We only get a few emails from leadership every day, whereas these Dear Colleagues are by the dozens. Well, when they send out a notification of a classified meeting or an opportunity to speak to people in a classified setting, they're doing it through this Dear Colleague system. So nobody shows up. I remember one time I told my colleagues that there was going to be a classified meeting, and none of them had heard about it. None of them. Literally, the only people who went to the meeting were the people I told about it. I mean, if they didn't hear it from me, they wouldn't have known about it. So the room was filled with people that I had grabbed on the House floor and said, hey, let's go to this meeting. And they were like, what meeting? I was like, just come with me. And so we'd all go, and we sat down, and it was just us. And I recently had another one where Thomas Massey and I went down to this meeting. One other person showed up as well. But it was just the three of us. And when you get there, what they make you sign is a non-disclosure form. So I can't even talk to my colleagues about it. They give us a small window to meet. For example, for one of these, they told us that we could come in between 9 a.m. and noon on a Friday, on the same day where we're like all flying out of DC, going back to our districts. So we could come in for this 3-hour window, and that's it. After that, it's just closed off. So we get there, we have to sign a non-disclosure, but there's no other opportunities for those people to come back. It was only available from 9 to noon. And I can't tell my colleagues about what happens there, what we learned. And it's structured in a way where it's intended to keep as few people in the know as possible. And we learn, and there's a lot of information that's given there. And sometimes not so much information, depending on how difficult they want to be in telling us what's going on. But the point is, every once in a while you do learn something really important, really critical to our legislative work, but there are no members there to hear it. It's like 5 of us, or 3 of us, or 8 of us, and we can't tell anyone about it. When you have a body with 435 members, and only a handful of you know, and you can't tell anyone else about it, how are we going to write legislation properly?
Next question over here.